What's up, everybody? It's the Inhuman one here, and today we're going to talk about a dear old friend of mine. A friend that not only holds a dear place in my heart, but especially my mind. Pedro, my plantain partner from the past, has piqued my interest and possibly holds the potential to the perplexing predicament that has plagued my mind for several days now. That's right, today we're going to discuss the story and My Friend is Pedro. So without further ado, let's get started. Our story begins as a silent, unnamed protagonist regains consciousness in the underbelly of a butcher shop run by Mitch, an arms dealer who has grown fat off of his illegal weapons dealings under the guise of a restaurant that sells mystery meats in Old Town. As our hero progresses, he encounters a number of geriatric mobsters that Mitch has employed due to the elderly not having any viable retirement plans. I found this incredibly interesting as it truly painted the twisted and layered world that is My Friend is Pedro. Ideally, it's customary to grow old, leave the workforce, enjoy retirement, and die peacefully. But that happy ending has no place in this world. It seems like the society has discarded any notion of looking after the elderly so that degenerates like Mitch can capitalize on the situation and grow his army of desperate old men with everything to lose. After an intense car chase, our protagonist defeats and kills Mitch in an explosive battle on the freeway. He then ends up in the district Null, an area in town that was applauded for successfully bringing together politicians and community leaders alike to share an important message with the people: buy stuff. Unfortunately, due to an inability to come to an agreement on the font, the entire project was abandoned, leaving behind a bleak, gray shell that became home to Denny and his bounty hunters. The Null is just another testament proving how tainted society has become and how differences in opinions can result in the breakdown of communication and cooperation, leaving the overall message unspoken. Our hero makes his way to Denny's office, leaving behind a seemingly endless trail of blood and bullets. Once he arrives at the office, Denny attempts to escape and eventually finds himself falling to his death. Naturally, our hero pursues him to obtain more information. While falling at terminal velocity, he learns that Ophelia, Denny's sister, controls the internet. On his way to the internet, he takes the most direct path to his final destination, the sewers. But not before taking a trip inside Pedro's world. It seems that during the fall, our hero was knocked unconscious and visited the vibrant depths of Pedro's imagination. After dispatching a few haters, our hero comes to and progresses on his journey. The sewers are home to the most vicious and hardcore gamers and cosplayers that have become bloodthirsty killers due to their prolonged exposure to violence in video games. I found this fitting due to the fact that in real life, the media has fabricated a gaming condition that is equated to addiction and leads to negative long-term effects. Perhaps all of us gamers will turn into an evil horde of murderers, but I have a feeling the bananas will sooner become sentient. Now moving on towards the internet, our hero learns that Ophelia has absolute control over not only the territory known as the internet, but also the vast array of computer networks that has weaved its way into nearly every aspect of our lives. Pedro even goes on to say that because Ophelia controls the internet, she essentially controls the illusion of free will as we know it. During the encounter with Ophelia, the hero learns that he has essentially slaughtered his own family. Due to some unknown incident that caused a rift in ideologies, Mitch the father, Denny the brother, and now Ophelia the sister were slain by the protagonist because of this desire to possibly right some wrongs from the past. The only surviving loose end is to eliminate the last surviving member of the family, our hero. Pedro reveals to our hero that he knocked himself unconscious in an attempt to erase his memories so that he could complete his mission without being held back by any notions of guilt. He then systematically destroyed the entire family operation using the skills and inside knowledge he had obtained as a key member of the oppressive leadership. Pedro then states that he is going to fulfill his promise to kill our hero and jams himself into his ears, plunging him into an internal, mental struggle to resist killing himself. Pedro and the protagonist duke it out in a battle of wits and bullets in a struggle for life or death, and before long our hero prevails, destroying Pedro the banana for the sake of self-preservation. Before perishing, Pedro leaves the hero with some touching words, apologizing for failing to kill him as promised. As we pan to the ending sequence, we see our hero remove his mask and reveal his hideously disfigured face that has an uncanny resemblance to that of Pedro himself. But what does it all mean? Why is Pedro a talking banana? What was the unforgivable incident that started this bloody rebellion? Well, let me take a stab at these questions. Literally. I believe that the masked hero forcibly jammed a banana in his ear, hence the distinctive blood pattern on the bottom tip of the pointy yellow fruit. The manner in which the blood coats the banana is inconsistent with any blood spatter that would result from a gunshot wound, as it lacks any characteristics of a high-velocity impact. Trust me, I'm a big fan of Dexter. As a result of his stab wound, he damaged his temporal lobe, the area of the brain responsible for memory, speech, and comprehension. Symptoms of damage to this region of the brain include disturbance of selective attention of auditory and visual input, i.e. the inability to recognize faces, disorders of visual perception, impaired speech, loss of long-term and short-term memory, and altered personality and increased aggression. The physical impairment and resulting brain damage caused by the banana explains how our hero is unable to recall memories from his past, his inability to speak throughout his journey, his failure to recognize his family members, his difficulty distinguishing reality from Pedro's world, and his incredibly violent behavior. If I had to say it all in a word, I'd say he went bananas. And that's all for this one. And until next time, it's the Inhuman one signing out.